Joe Bergantino and the I-Team, only on CBS 4.
Sports Final is brought to you by your local New England Ford dealers.
Now on Sports Final.
For one day at least, Red Sox-Yankees Game 7 in Yankee Stadium had a completely different meaning for Red Sox fans.
A two-run home run for Manny Ramirez.
The Super Bowl champions hope they made their stingy defense even stingier this weekend.
Short.
And one Patriot helped some troubled teams turn their lives around.
This is Sports Final with Bob Lobel.
All right, good evening and welcome to Sports Final. Why can't we get a schedule like this? You could play the Yankees every day, huh? Sweet. 7 games, 6 wins, including a 3-game sweep, first one in 5 years. And it's the first time 6 of 7 in 91 years. So there, the defending Super Bowl champs as well had a big weekend, making 8 picks in 2 days of the draft. But, of course, we have to begin with a look back at 7 games in April between the Red Sox and the Yankees.
Well into right field. Back is Sheffield. 2-0 Boston. Vasquez. Mirabelli. Right through Jeter. Runners are going. Swing and a miss and a throw down. 2 out. Are you kidding?
Don't fail me again.
1-2 pitch. Struck 3 call to Derek Jeter. Williams strikes out. Hits it high in the air to deep left center field. That one is back, and it may never come down. Time up. Into right field, a base hit. Posada being waved around. Millar is up and throwing. The throw is not going to be in time. The Yankees have tied the score at 1.
You are unwise to lower your defenses.
And more to come. Into right field, a base hit for Wilson. High and deep to right. Kapler back, can't go any further back, gets out of here.
Join me, and I will complete your training.
Ortiz, a check swing, grounder to third base. A-Rod, double, bumped and fires it into right center field. We're tied at 4. Swinging, lines it into left center field. Here comes McCarty, and the Red Sox take the 5-4 lead.
The heat has made you powerful.
Drilled to deep left, way back and gone. Ace watch one to deep right. That ball is gone, just over the wall. Back-to-back homers by Millar and Bellhorn, and the Red Sox lead 3-0. Driven deep down the left field line by Miller. It is gone. And he hits it in the air in right center. Crosby on the run. Back at the wall. It is gone.
And then the release.
Back at him and off his glove to the third base side. He stays with it and then fires it into the crowd. Bellhorn lifts it to center field. Back goes Bernie Williams. He'll run it down, but tagging from third and scoring is Manny Ramirez. A pitch to Jeter is softly grounded, cut off by Miller on the run, and in time, the Red Sox have won game 2 of the series. Pedro with the 3-1. A-Rod reaches out, lines it to right. Millar moving in. He dives and makes the catch.
Take your weapon. Strike me down with all of your hatred.
And he swings and hits one high in the air to left field. Matsui is looking up. It may never come down. Make it 6. Derek Jeter goes down looking, and it is a 6th strikeout for Pedro Martinez. Reaches in and brings the 1-2 pitch. Sheffield strikes out. The Red Sox have swept the New York Yankees. The Red Sox have taken the first 6 of 7 games against the Yankees this season.
There you go. Tony Maserati's with us. The Yankees do, and the S word applies, stink. And this,
yeah.
I don't know. But I tell you, I love this team. I love this team. They've hooked us in again.
You know, we were just saying before we came on, all of the things that the Yankees feared about this season, thin pitching rotation, bunch of guys you're throwing together with no team chemistry potentially, everything has gone wrong for them so far. The Red Sox have just picked up where they left off, and it showed. In these 7 games, it showed.
I'll say one other thing about the Red Sox, Tony, and I love their defense. I mean, the way they're pitching, their bullpen, it's beyond belief, but their defense has really been, I think, the thing that's been tremendous and is really unheralded because not many people are talking about it.
Yeah.
Pokey Reese, Bellhorn, and Crespo, 3 guys you never would expect have done a great job.
Well, and I'll tell you, Bob, too, the other thing is that, you know, I know people were criticizing Francona the first week of the season.
Of course they were.
Well, it goes with the territory, as we know. But if you look at where they've been positioned defensively on a lot of these shifts, things, every time a guy seems to hit a ball somewhere, there's someone there. So there's got to be some credit given there. And they're not scoring runs, obviously, and they're still winning games. And their schedule over the next 10 days is going to get easier. So if this keeps up, and if they win games that Bronson Arroyo starts or Byung-Hyun Kim when he comes back, look out, because the other 4 guys are not going to allow a prolonged losing streak of any kind.
They're actually turning double plays. I mean, this, to me, is like no Red Sox team of the immediate past. Double plays with the bases loaded, especially that one on Saturday, which is a huge play.
Yeah, I think everything is going right for them. Reese obviously gives them a huge defensive dimension in the middle of the diamond also.
So, like, where did Nomar comes back? Okay, where are you going to play Nomar?
Well,
like the Lou Gorman comment.
And that's the other thing. If you're the Yankees, you're saying, well, you know what, this team just kicked our tail for 7 games, basically, and they're playing without 2 of their best players. They're going to add 2 guys back who are going to improve the offense. The only thing that I think needs to be watched a little bit with the Red Sox, given the way things have gone, because the games have been so close, they've had to use Embry and Folk in particular a great deal. You don't want to run those guys into the ground too early. They've pitched an awful lot. They were able to stay away from Folk today, which is a good thing, and Embry for that matter. But they need to really open up some games a little bit and give some guys some breathing room. But, well, you know, if the downside of winning games, Bob, is that you're getting too much work for your closer, well, then that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, okay, they can hook us in all they want. It is April, hook us in. I don't care. We're on board. Do what you want with us. But with Timlin and Williamson today, I mean, here's Williamson in the 8th and Williamson in the 9th today. Perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, this bullpen is perfect.
Yeah, they haven't given up a run now in
24 2/3.
What is it? It's 8 games, right? 8+ games since Folk gave up a meaningless run against the Yankees on last Saturday at Fenway. They have not allowed a run, and in fact, they've only allowed, if you throw out the relief appearance that Bronson Arroyo made against Baltimore at Fenway, in 39 or basically 39 now 40 innings, they've given up 1 run. That is unbelievable. I can never remember the Red Sox having a stretch like that.
Jim Corsi made a very good point on Channel 38 in the Red Sox this week. He said, that bullpen now knows, it's not by committee, they know they are roles, and they know their roles going into each and every game. Williamson knew he was going to come in as the closer today.
Yeah, and I think of all the changes they made, and obviously there were 2 major ones to me, nobody's had more of an impact on this team so far than Folk, because it's allowed the other guys to fall into place. So as you said, they know what their roles are. This guy's there at the end of the game. And now, as we saw on Saturday, that is a game over the last 5 years that when the Yankees went to Rivera, the Red Sox didn't have anyone to match up. Now they do.
You know what? I was up in Vermont visiting my son. We went out for a walk with the dogs, like in the 10th inning, the score. I know you say, what, are you crazy? We went out 10th inning. It was the only time we could do it. He said, what do you think happened? I said, well, I'm sure the Red Sox, this was a game they'd lose. And it felt like they were going to lose. Come back, they're still playing, and they go on and win the game. It was a game they absolutely would have lost in previous years.
Yeah, and you know what? I think Joe Torre said something to that effect on Saturday too, Bob, because when you get to that 9th or 10th inning and you're the home team, you go to your closer, and Rivera would go in, and they know they're going to get 2 scoreless there. It's what they did in Game 7 last year. At the time, Grady held Williamson in the bullpen, elected not to go to the closer because he was going to need him. Exactly.
Please.
Yeah. We don't need to bring up his name.
How about the strikeouts, the pictures at Yankee Stadium?
I heard about that today. I didn't see them at the game, but I did hear about that. I just think Folk has added an unbelievable and unprecedented dimension to that bullpen, and they have a guy out there now that can pitch a lot, pitch in non-save situations, pitch more than one inning at a time, And for all the questions about whether or not he was going to be able to handle the pressure in Boston, thus far, it looks like he's not having much difficulty.
No, and it's contagious, too. I'll tell you what, Bellhorn, 10th player, already my vote, 10th player.
Yeah, you can see similar traits in a guy like him that they had last year in a guy like Todd Walker. And I'm not saying this guy's the same kind of player, but he plays with the same kind of attitude. You can see he brings a certain amount of edge with him on the field. He plays hard, and he fits in. And the guys they've had, the Red Sox right now are a team. They have tweaked what they had a year ago. There's been a certain continuity with them building over from last year, even though they lost. The Yankees, to me, have just completely flipped everything upside down, and they have no idea what they are right now.
Yeah, you know what? Not only a team, but a much more mature team than they were last year. Last year was cowboy up and karaoke and all that stuff, but none of that stuff. Now it's business. Yeah, business.
You get the sense today.
Contract up this year.
Yeah, and obviously it's April, so let's keep that in.
No. Don't even think. No. This is August.
But realistically, all we have to judge them on is what we've seen to date, and they have been almost systematic in their approach. You don't see much change in the clubhouse. There was no hooping and hollering. We beat the Yankees 6 out of 7. There was none of that. Not that you would expect any of it. I just think, I really think this team expects to take off this year and win a lot of games.
Well, they've hooked us, and we expect them to do it too. How about that?
Yeah, and the schedule,
whatever month it is,
it's going to get easier. In the next 10 days, they get Tampa, Texas, and Cleveland. I mean, they should be able to make up some more ground there.
And let's see what happens. All right, Tony, thanks a lot. Great to have you here.
Thanks, Bob.
All positive stuff here. All right, when we come back, the Super Bowl champs have made their picks, and we'll talk about their picks on this night when the Red Sox have won 6 of 7 from the Yankees. First time in 91 years to start the season.
With the 21st pick in the 2004 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Vince Wilfork, defensive lineman, University of Miami.
On Sports Vinyl, receive a gift certificate from Eastern Clothing of Watertown. Eastern Clothing of Watertown is offering custom-made suits for those men who prefer to choose a style and fabric that suits them. Expert tailoring, classy styles, and elegant fabrics are the hallmark of the custom-made suit at Eastern Clothing of Watertown. For the best in custom-made suits, visit Eastern Clothing of Watertown.
The value of the #1 selling Ford Explorer just got better. For the first time in the U.S. and only in New England, get an Explorer XLS with a sport appearance package and a third-row seat. Get this specially equipped Explorer with a third-row seat, 4x4 or more, with $5,245 cash back. Or 0% financing for 60 months, plus $2,245 cash back. This is the best value on the most affordable Explorer ever. Only in New England, only for a limited time.
It's Four Kicks, golf course and sports complex. A huge indoor sports megaplex that features a 9-hole executive golf course. That's New England's only fully lighted golf course. This par 3 course features an amazing Musco lighting system. Four Kicks offers you conference facilities, pro shop, fitness center, concessions, and sports instruction. And of course, nighttime golf. Four Kicks in Norfolk. Call 508-384-4433 or visit fourkicks.com.
Introducing the Nissan Quest, a revolutionary minivan featuring 5 Skyview windows, front and side impact 5-star safety rating, an innovative center console, automated side and rear lift doors, and fold-away second and third row seats. Moms have changed. Shouldn't the minivan?
There's a place where the wind is cool and the curves are exciting, where all convertibles are turbocharged and the sun has a very hard time keeping up. The all-new Saab 9.3 convertible. This is the state of independence. Welcome.
Get $500 bonus cash when you take immediate delivery of the new 2004 Saab 9.3 ARC convertible. Offer ends April 30th. Residency restrictions apply. Call 1-800-SAAB-USA for details.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love to win. I love to win big.
Oh, there you go. He likes to win big, and he is big. So that's Vince Woolfolk. And here we go with Steve Diassi and Michael Smith of the Globe. And first of all, what do you guys think of the Patriots draft, Stephen?
Well, they were in a great position. Whatever they did was going to be fine because they didn't need help immediately in any one position. And that's what I was talking about last week. When you're in that position, the best bet is to go big because you can't coach. Even as good a coach as Belichick is, you can't coach size.
Michael?
I think it's excellent. As I was talking about a second ago, when you look at this draft, you have to factor in the veterans that they got for the picks. I mean, Corey Dillon is a part of this draft. So you get a guy that's, run for 1,000 yards 6 times. That's a pretty good second-round pick that you know what he's capable of producing.
So their draft really started last week.
Draft started a couple of weeks ago because they're very excited about Rodney Bailey. I mean, that's the guy who you've seen perform, albeit in a reserve role in Pittsburgh, at the professional level for 3 years. So you get him for a 6th-round pick, 24 years old. A lot of rookies coming in 24. That's a pretty good pickup in the 6th round. So when you from top to bottom, you look at the defensive linemen that they got, 3 of them, running back, size receiver in P.K. Sam, another running back in Cobbs. So that's a pretty good draft all the way around.
All right, so let's talk about their second pick, Watson, the tight end. And now this was an interesting pick because I believe, from my information, they would have taken the running back the Lions took had he been available.
Well, this kid is a physical stud. You're talking about a 525-pound bench press, a guy that runs a 4.5. 250 pounds. They say he's got pretty good hands. Doesn't have a tremendous record in college in terms of the amount of catches he has, but again, you're looking at a big, strong, fast guy that Belichick believes he can coach.
Well, it gives them options as well. I mean, you're talking about putting this guy with Daniel Graham, and hopefully Daniel, starts putting it together in the near future. But you put this guy with Graham, they like to do a lot of different things with the tight ends. They can be very creative. Talking about a guy with these kind of physical dimensions, who knows what you can do with him. They like to split Daniel out wide. You can split this guy out wide, put him in the slot, create mismatches down the middle. I think it's a great pickup.
What happens to Christian Fourier here?
Well, I mean, I think he's here. He's 32 years old. I mean, we'd all be naive if he felt like he was long for this world. He's in a contract year. Could he be here this year? Sure. Beyond this year, I doubt it seriously when you got 2 young tight ends like this. And you can pretty much bring anybody as a third.
You're absolutely right. And you can't yet count on Daniel Graham in the red zone. Christian Fourier, we know he'll catch the ball anywhere on the field, but especially in the red zone.
And he's still a good veteran presence to have around. He's been mentoring Daniel. I mean, I think he'll be here this year, but I think he knows that beyond this year, he's probably not going to be here.
Well, you think this will affect Graham at all, to the picking of Watson?
Shouldn't.
I mean, in terms of motivation.
Well, the thing is, Graham's not a guy that doesn't work hard. He's a according to Belichick, he's a hard-working young man. And I thought that Houston game where he made those 2 big catches was going to be the thing that put him over the hump. But again, sometimes he lets his brain get in the way of his hands.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it should be. I don't think it's related at all. I think you're talking about a team that had 2 tight ends on the roster. As many as they use, especially in special teams. This guy Watson's also a special teams contributor. You needed another tight end, period. It shouldn't affect Graham. If it does, more power to him, but I don't think it will at all.
Okay, there are 2 guys I want to talk about. Corey Dillon, first of all, and really that's the number 2 pick. They weren't going to do any better than him at that particular position if they had to make that pick, right?
And what kind of gamble is it? Whenever you're placing a bet, from what I understand, you're supposed to look at what you're wagering and what the upside is and what the downside is. You're looking at a $1.75 million downside on this salary cap if the guy turns out to be a bust. But if he turns out to be even 90% of what his best is, that's phenomenal. You're looking at 1,400 yards.
Sure. I mean, and he's motivated. He's bringing in a guy who hasn't won, who's hungry to win. So now, and maybe that might rub off on some other players because you're talking about a guy who all he's used to is losing. So anybody that might be complacent on the Patriots roster, you get a guy that's coming in and saying, look, I never had what you guys had. He's going to want, and he's running for his payday as well. He's also got a lot of incentives involved in this restructuring.
Okay, let's talk about their defensive line now with Will Fork and Seymour and, well, let's go trailer. What about where does this all fit together?
Well, as Steve will tell you, linebackers love to get. You can never have enough of those guys. Jimmy Johnson popularized it a couple of years back with the Cowboys. They rotate so many. Out with Anthony Pleasant, out with Rick Lyle, Bobby Hamilton, Ted Washington. You replenish that with Rodney Bailey, Vince Woolfolk, a true nose tackle who they didn't have since Ted Washington left. You can never have too many bodies, and especially not too many young bodies, because they also come cheap as well.
And when you're talking about this defense, the linebackers made so many big plays between Vrabel and Bruschi and Pfeiffer last year. If you don't get that protection up front, those linebackers aren't going to be free to run. It is no coincidence that you had a nose tackle like Ted Washington in there the same year that Teddy Bruschi had his best year ever.
Last question, Ty Law. What do you think is going to happen here?
The one thing they know about Ty Law and the Patriots, I've heard this from people in the organization, he plays well when he gets ticked off. Some guys mope when they get mad. Ty Law doesn't mope. When he's mad, he plays well. So they're not too concerned if he's mad.
He's got to play well. I mean, because, you know, he's missing out on the payday that he wanted. If he wants anything close to it, he's got to have another big year. I mean, I don't think he's going to be traded. Would they entertain offers? Sure, but you're talking about a guy who's, you know, wherever he's going, still got the contract situation, and nobody wants to have that problem, knowing what kind of problem he can cause if he's unhappy. So he'll be here this year. I expect him to have a great year. He'll get cut after next year.
And I think the trade is less likely now that the draft is over, too.
Sure.
All right, he's Michael Smith and Steve Diassi, and when we come back, we'll follow one of the longest tenured Patriots off the field as he contributes to a very special cause. Linebacker Ted Johnson making an impression on the lives of some wayward teams. Stay with us here on Sports Final. Nothing but good stuff tonight. Sports Final is brought to you by Boston Harley-Davidson Buell.
Ford put a lot of manpower into redesigning the F-150. Maybe they should have put in some more horsepower. But 2004 GMC Sierra. Get a Sierra 1500 extended cab, available with option packages including a 5.3-liter V8, stabilizer bar, and more, and get a $2,500 discount. Add the discount to $3,500 total cash back for a total value of $6,000. It's Truck Fest at your New England GMC dealers.
Is it the South Pacific? Or the fields of Ireland? Maybe it's the sunny Caribbean. Or the foothills of Peru. Guess again. It must be Maine. For your free vacation guide, call 1-888-MAINE-11 or go to visitmaine.com.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with my new Kia Sedona. It's got a 10-year warranty. Did you ever see Anna have that? No. It's got more front legroom, and it was $2,300 less. How much less? Ooh.
Dare to compare a Kia Sedona before you buy. With a 5-star safety rating, a 10-year warranty, there's no comparison. Visit your Eastern New England Kia retailers. Hurry, offer ends April 30th.
Meeting today, so we got 5 minutes to get there. Go around this guy, he's not even moving.
With the class-leading 250 horsepower V6 engine, the Saturn Vue can get you to the meeting on time. Unless you turn on the 6-speaker stereo. Get a new 2004 Saturn Vue with 0% APR financing or $3,500 towards your down payment. See your retailer for details.
This is Sports Final with Bob Lobel.
Ted Johnson, one of the many Patriots who has made giving back a priority in his time here in New England, and one of his charitable acts involves spending time on a remote island helping young men find their way in life. And tomorrow night, the Patriots linebacker will be honored for his work with the students at Penakees Island School at a dinner at the Charles Hotel in Cambridge. Alice Cook witnessed firsthand the difference Johnson makes.
It is 12 miles off the southern tip of Cape Cod and light years away from the world we live in. Penakees Island is a haven for endangered birds and a refuge for troubled boys.
Penakees only accepts kids who choose to come and choose Penakees over other alternatives like jail or some other program. But our belief is that once a boy makes a choice, it's the beginning of taking responsibility for his life.
2 years ago, Patriots linebacker Ted Johnson made his first visit to Penakees, a 75-acre island with virtually no electricity, heat, or plumbing.
It forces you to kind of talk and learn to communicate with each other and learn how to, live in an environment that's not so overstimulated that we're so used to, and that's how we function. But these kids out here have to learn to function just with the basic needs, and I like that.
Paniki's houses up to 9 boys at a time. It is an alternative to incarceration, and the trade-off isn't always easy.
I'm talking to a kid here today who hasn't been here long, he says he almost would rather be in prison, you know. The kids are forced to work through their problems, and they're forced to make decisions. They know there's consequences for the decisions, and they're held accountable, which I don't know how true that is, you know, in jail. I don't know. So a lot of kids don't want to have to deal with it, and so it makes their time here, for some of them, pretty tough early on.
It's been a long ride. I mean, when I got here, I came from lockup, and it was kind of weird transitioning from a lockdown facility to like a island.
Classes are held in a one-room schoolhouse 6 days a week.
Herbivores only eat only plants.
Yes.
What are some of the things you've done here that you thought you would never do, as far as, maybe?
Chop wood. Chop wood, man. I live in the city, man. I'm not trying to chop wood, man. You know, work in a shop, build things, you know, talk about my feelings, you know. It's all things that I never thought I'd be able to do.
Reading books?
Oh, reading books. Wow, I never touched a book in my life. And now, I've read probably about 50 books, you know? It's the best thing to do. It's just like TV. Just like TV.
What Paniki's gives these teenage boys is the environment to live as a family, a privilege many of them have never known.
Somewhat similar to being a parent of your own kids. It's really a 24-hour-a-day operation. There's not a lot of downtime for the staff. They live, they work, they eat, they play, they do everything with the kids. And we're trying to use the relationship to promote the change in them, to take greater responsibility over their lives and make better choices.
How do you think that you've changed in the last 10 months?
I got a lot more mature. Like, my maturity level, like, rocketed, because before all I was doing drugs, you know, stealing, sorts of, like, you know, little crimes and all that stuff. I just grew up a lot. Like, I'm not lazy anymore. I just work really hard.
You got one more? You got 20 in you? I don't know. I'll say 19 and a half. I got to do 225 19 times. To beat him, I got to do 20. Who you betting on?
I'm betting on my man Nick, man.
You got Nick?
Man. I got him.
Oh, God, can I do it? Oh, don't ever bet against me, Ben.
When Ted Johnson comes to visit, it's not the football player they see, it's the buddy.
They get to know me, I get to know them on much more of a deeper level than on the surface. So that's nice. That's nice for me, because it's for me it's all about, you know, trying to cultivate relationships with these kids in some way, and it's very much rewarding for me, and hopefully it is for them too. I think it is.
I like it, you know, because it shows that he actually cares, you know, and he talks to us when the TV's not even on us, you know, and he actually chills with us. So I like that, you know. He's a cool dude.
After spending 9 months on this remote island, the young men that come here are released back into the mainstream. There's no guarantee they won't find trouble again, but their chances are vastly improved. They'll find a better life.
They can always look back at their time here and know that, you know, people cared about them. They had structure, they had discipline, there was a sense of community and a camaraderie that maybe they haven't felt in a long time, and they can draw from their experience here and hopefully use it to their advantage to get them out of whatever situation they're in, and maybe be a turning point in their lives at whatever point they're in.
Sometimes all it takes is someone who cares. Alice Cook, CBS 4 Sports.
Good stuff, real good stuff. We have to take another short break, but we'll be back in just a minute to wrap things up here on Sports Final and put you to bed with a smile on your face. Kind of.
Those affiliated with Sports Final receive apparel from Custom Crafted in North Attleboro. We go where the pros go, and you can too. Custom Crafted for top-of-the-line sports uniforms and apparel.
just about any place on Earth.
Honey, check this cable bill. Our rates went up again.
You're joking, right?
I'm not laughing.
It's time to switch from cable to DirecTV. Call Expert Satellite now for a 5-room DirecTV system shipped and installed for free. More programs on more networks. Big names and big games. All in digital quality picture and sound. That's a free DirecTV system for up to 5 rooms, shipped and installed for free. Act now and get a free bonus DVD player. Call Expert Satellite 866-438-8123 now.
Great call, honey. We made the right choice.
We can usually tell if a person has been to another store when they walk in our front door.
Because they're always wowed with the way we do it. It's very different.
Our sleep techs are trained to be honest, and they're also trained so well in sleep, and they can help you match your body with the right mattress.
A mattress is a blind item. You're really not quite sure what you're getting. At Jordan's, we want people to know what they're getting.
We just try and treat you the way we would want to be treated ourselves. And that's very simple. It's just being honest.
Introducing the all-new Toyota Tundra Double Cab. Not just big, life-size.
Guests in Sports Final receive a gift certificate from Whalen Golf. These days, where do you get the very best deals on golf stuff? Well, this may be news to you, but it's the same place it's always been. Whalen Golf, with 7 area locations. Whalen Golf, it's how you play the game. Okay. All right, welcome back, and this is it. And you say, what did he mean by saying that it puts you to bed with a smile on your face? I don't know what he meant. All I know is that, you know, a week and a half ago, they played 7 games against the Yankees. I think a lot of us would have been happy if they won 3 out of 7 with Nomar, Nixon, and Kim out. 3 out of 7 would have been okay. But 6 out of 7, no way, no how. That's heady stuff. So, having said that, having done that, and having been hooked by that, we can say a Red Sox nation will sleep well tonight. Thanks for being with us here at Sports Final. I'm Bob Lobel. Have a great night, everybody, and put a smile on your face.